Christine Brennan is after making a suggestion for why DeWanna Bonner maybe left the Indiana Fever, and her reasoning is crazy if true.
The DeWanna Bonner situation is one of the most unprofessional things I have ever seen in any level of professional sports, and it has to be addressed. If you're not familiar, DeWanna Bonner is cut from the Indiana Fever.
So here's the twist nobody saw coming. WNBA veteran legend DeWanna Bonner has just been waived by the Indiana Fever after mysteriously going male for weeks. But now, a bombshell report from Christine Brennan hints that this might not be just about basketball. There could be something way deeper going on behind the scenes. What do you think really went down between Bonner and the Fever? Drop your theories in the comments below.
The DeWanna Bonner situation is one of the most unprofessional things I have ever seen in any level of professional sports, and it has to be addressed. If you're not familiar, DeWanna Bonner is cut from the Indiana Fever. We have just waived her, and we brought back Ari McDonald. DeWanna Bonner has not played in the last few Indiana Fever games, and we were all thinking it was because of personal reasons. And all us Indiana Fever fans were thinking it was something big. I even said on a few of my live streams.
Alright, let's break down this wild situation, because the whole DeWanna Bonner drama with the Indiana Fever just took a turn nobody saw coming. The 37-year-old veteran was officially waived by Indiana on Wednesday after playing in just 9 games this season. But the real tea that comes straight from Christine Brennan, who just dropped some seriously eye-opening details about what really went wrong. Let's start with the basics. Bonner signed a 1-year deal with the Fever in the offseason. This wasn't just a veteran bench filler, she was brought in as a key piece, someone who could help anchor a young squad and mentor Caitlin Clark through her second pro season. She was supposed to be the stabilizing force, but now it's clear this situation was never just about basketball. And here's where things start to heat up next.
Yesterday, DeWanna Bonner had no intention of coming back to the Indiana Fever. So initially we were wondering, hey, what is the reason? And the media has been feeding us this lie. The main reason why DeWanna Bonner is dipping out is because she wants to be in a starting position, and maybe she's mad about Lexi Holt outperforming her. Maybe she's mad about the fact that she's not getting the position of Natasha Howard on the team. She's just been benched because she has not been playing well. They've also been saying that the fit is not well because she is a very slow player in a team that likes to play really fast. These are good concerns, and these are true probably to a certain extent, but that's not the end of it. What they've been trying to hide is the fact that DeWanna Bonner is leaving to go play with her.
According to multiple league sources, DeWanna Bonner had zero intention of ever returning to play for the Indiana Fever. She reportedly vanished from the team for weeks, citing personal reasons, and then boom, just like that, she was cut. Now sure, we've seen players clash with teams before, but what Christine Brennan just exposed about this situation, it takes things to an asterisk whole new level of wild.
As much as Christine Brennan does very much lean anti-WNBA, she's still Christine Brennan. Like, I know a lot of people want to say, oh, Christine Brennan is this, Christine Brennan is that, but at the end of the day, Christine Brennan is Christine Brennan. She is arguably the most important female sports journalist of all time.
Brennan, widely regarded as one of the most respected voices in women's sports journalism, went on ESPN and dropped insider info that has the entire basketball world buzzing. And let's be clear before we dive in, Christine Brennan isn't just some online blogger tossing out hot takes. Her reputation is rock solid, built over decades. If she's saying something, you better believe it's backed up, because she has everything to lose by spreading baseless rumors.
So here's what she said about DeWanna Bonner.
Look at DeWanna Bonner, and there's reporting on her, and I don't have any inside reporting. So DeWanna Bonner was brought in by Stephanie White, the new coach, formerly a Fever player and coach as well, for the Fever, brought from Connecticut, and she wanted to bring her star veteran, 37-year-old DeWanna Bonner, as a stabilizing influence. A leader went out in 2 games in the playoffs, and they needed more depth and more leadership and more veteran savvy, etc. So that's the decision that Stephanie White makes. Within a couple of games, DeWanna Bonner is not playing well, and then she disappears, and then she's literally now gone and says she doesn't want to play and she wants to, trade. And
So
we'll see what's happening
weird.
with Phoenix and all of that.
Yeah.
Well, it is, but the little
We know up to that point. We know she was playing badly. She just
Here's the bombshell Christine Brennan just dropped. It's a massive spotlight, and instead of embracing it, running with it, and capitalizing on the opportunities, Bonner just couldn't handle it. Caitlin Clark can't do every sponsorship or media appearance, which means her teammates like Bonner were benefiting too. But instead of seeing it as a blessing, Bonner either didn't want the attention, couldn't deal with the pressure, or let it get to her. In other words, this wasn't just about basketball. It was about ego, pressure, and a spotlight too bright for some to handle.
No, like this next part is the crazy part. And this next part is why I'm making this video. Because up to this point, from what Christine Brennan said, and this is Christine Brennan on ESPN LA, and it's a video titled Christine Brennan thinks Caitlin Clark can do the unthinkable.
little clue here. I was at that game May 17th, that home opener for the Fever against Chicago, and they just absolutely steamrolled them, over 30 points. Great game by the Fever. And Bonner made it third all time at scoring, and had like some points. Her interview right afterwards, it's a joyous moment, right? I mean, we've all seen these interviews. Ramona, you've done them, I've done them. We were talking as a player. This is easy stuff, and she goes, "I was shocked." She said, "It's a crowd. I've never seen anything like this, never experienced anything like this before." And I thought, what an interesting thing to say. Honest, yay, we love honesty.
Yeah.
But she's 37 and she's never seen anything like this. She meant it's 17,000 people, packed house, going crazy. They know their basketball, and they love you, and they love Caitlin, and they love everything about the team that Bonner is now on. Great, okay. And in talking to a source or two, it appears that Bonner was unable to, in some way, shape, or form, just deal with that spotlight.
Wait, so you're telling me that a 16-year WNBA veteran, a multi-time champion, someone who's literally seen it all, couldn't handle the spotlight that comes with playing next to Caitlin Clark? That's actually kind of mind-blowing when you really sit with it. But here's where things get even crazier. Christine Brennan brought up a moment from May 17th, Bonner's very first home game with the Fever. After the game, Bonner said, "The crowd kind of shocked me a little bit. This is my first time playing in this kind of environment." Now pause and think about that. We're talking about DeWanna Bonner, a 6-time All-Star, a seasoned playoff performer, someone who's been to the top of the mountain. And she's saying that atmosphere caught her off guard? That's the Caitlin Clark effect in full force. These aren't typical WNBA crowds. We're talking 17,000 plus fans, sold-out arenas, people who know the game and show up ready to scream for 40 straight minutes. The energy inside Indiana Fever games this season has been electric, historic, even and unlike anything this league has ever experienced. And according to Brennan's theory, Bonner didn't lean into it, she backed away. Instead of embracing the moment, the pressure, and the massive opportunity, she reportedly struggled to adapt. And that's the thing when you play next to Caitlin Clark. You're not just hooping anymore, you're stepping into a national spotlight. You're part of a cultural phenomenon. Every game is nationally televised, every move is scrutinized, and the expectations are through the roof. The sarcastic part of me wants to say, really, a veteran player couldn't handle success? But honestly, this makes more sense than people want to admit. Not everyone is built for that level of spotlight. We've seen it in other sports, players who can perform when nobody's watching but crumble when the lights get too bright. Bonner averaged 7.1 points and 3.8 rebounds per game before being waived by the Fever earlier this week. Those aren't terrible numbers, but they're definitely not what you'd expect from a player of her caliber. She went from being a consistent contributor to looking lost on the court, and now we might know why. What makes this even more fascinating is the timeline of how everything went down. Bonner signed a 1-year contract with the Fever in February and started in the first 3 games of the 12-25 season. On May 17th, she became the 3rd all-time leading scorer in WNBA history with 7,189 points. So she hit this incredible milestone, had that moment where she talked about being shocked by the crowd, and then everything just fell apart from there. She got benched after 3 games, started coming off the bench, and then basically vanished from the team entirely. Bonner has not played since June 10th due to personal reasons, and now we're finding out that those personal reasons might have been her just not being able to deal with the circus that surrounds Caitlin Clark and the Fever hears. What's really telling, though, the business side of this, Brennan pointed out that being on the Fever with Caitlin Clark is basically a gold mine for endorsements and appearance fees. Clark can't do every commercial, every appearance, every autograph signing, so her teammates get opportunities they'd never have on any other team. Most players would kill for that kind of exposure and those financial opportunities, but apparently Bonner wanted no part of it, and honestly, that's her choice. But it's also kind of mind-blowing. We're talking about a player at the tail end of her career who could have cashed in big time, but instead chose to walk away because the spotlight was too intense. The really wild part is how this all connects to the broader Caitlin Clark phenomenon. We've seen the numbers her games draw massive television audiences, sell out arenas, and generate social media buzz that the WNBA has never experienced before. But what we're learning is that not everyone can handle being part of that machine. Think about what Bonner was supposed to bring to this team. Clark spoke glowingly about the 6-time All-Star who the Fever acquired on a 1-year deal in February as part of the team's effort to retool their roster and add more experienced vets to support Clark. Clark literally said, "Just the way she talks and she leads for me as a second-year point guard, I want to win for her. This is the end of her career. She deserves it." That's some heavy praise from Clark, and it shows how much the team was counting on Bonner to be that veteran leader, but instead of rising to the